Another very cool thing you can do, and you will be outstanding in your field if you do this, and you will be all alone until more people hear me speak, is to interact with the screen. You've got this huge thing standing beside you, and yet most of the time we just ignore it. And there are things you can do with it that are funny, that are involving, that are engaging. For instance, CSUN wants you to know how to be more creative in using technology. And so they thought, who can we find that is the most creative person to do this task? Oh, me. Well, that's a very Monty Python-esque thing to do, but it gets a laugh. It breaks the ice. It makes a point, and it will stick in their minds. Did you know if you take a black screen and you put a white circle on it, it is exactly like a spotlight. You want to emphasize something? Have a white circle come up on a black screen and stand in it. It's like a literal spotlight shining on you, and all of a sudden you are the focus of everything. Well, how else can you use layers? I talked to a group of salespeople one time. The problem is always identifying the real problem. And so I let them read this statement. We've lost more sales lately by making little errors. And then I walked up to the screen and but let's talk about what really matters. I have heard audiences gasp when I do things like that because they've never seen anybody do it. And therefore, they're going to remember it. My major subject, the thing I talk about more than anything else, is creativity. And I talk about how when I was a child, I watched The Wizard of Oz. When I was a child, it was before Netflix streaming. It was before DVDs. It was before VHS tapes at Blockbuster. The only way you could see it when I was a kid was to wait once a year and watch it on CBS. And they would show it on a Sunday night. And so I would watch that movie and just wait. And Dorothy, when that house would land and she would open the door and she was in Munchkin Land, I thought it was the most wonderful thing I'd ever seen. But you know what? We had a black and white TV. I didn't even realize when she opened the door, Technicolor started there. I still thought it was amazing, but I realized that's a life lesson. Many, many people go through life and they think, well, I have my ups, I have my downs, but life is pretty good. What if you're just seeing the black and white version? And there's Technicolor. And when I do that, I use this image and I say, when I saw Dorothy and her friends get that glimpse of the Emerald City across the poppy field, I thought it was the most glorious thing I'd ever seen. It was beautiful. I want to go there. And I didn't even realize, though, that I wasn't seeing the Technicolor version. There again, the audience goes crazy when you do stuff like that. I see some of you making mental notes. At the end of that talk on creativity, I say most people go through life doing this. We're spectators at our own life. We sit in the bleachers saying, you know, I thought it'd be more interesting than this. And that's a shame, because we're not supposed to just go through life reacting to what happens. We're supposed to go through life doing this. Creating the life we want to have. So you're sitting there with your mouth open, Samantha. All that is, that's a simple effect. It's just timing and having one of these. But you go through life creating the life you want to have. So if you want something that's more Technicolor, you just go through and make it that way and make your own artistic vision for your life. Now this combines everything I've told you about. Layering, GIFs, interaction with the screen. And there's a reason I do it, because it makes a point. Now, this is an image I found, and I use it when I talk to people who aren't sure how to proceed with their life. All of us have some point in our life where we've suffered. We've had some kind of setback. We've had something that's knocked us back on our bottom, and we don't know what to do. But the difference is some people get over it and use it to grow from, and some people just whine about it for the rest of your life. So this X-ray has an obvious break in this finger right here. And so a lot of people go through their life saying, oh, my finger hurts, I can't do anything. I'll never play the violin again. I can't do any heavy lifting. Look, my finger hurts. Feel sorry for me. But then there are the people who decide, no. They're going to get beyond that. And instead, that setback, that dramatic moment in their life, is going to become the one thing that steps them to a higher plane. That one thing that becomes a keyhole or even a doorway into the place they really want to be. Now that's just layering and timing. But man, does it make a point. So